welcome back, you guys. It's been a while since I did a sewing tutorial, so I wanted to do this dress for you because this is my most popular dress. It is the most viewed and the most purchased. I want to show you how to put this dress together. Just a few steps. You really only have four parts that you want to put together to make it. Let me show you how. I started with the hem of this dress first. You honestly don't have to start with the hem, you can wait. But I think because the length of the hem is so dramatically long that I figured I would just start with them before I put them together and try to hem the entire dress at once. So the first thing I'm going to do now that I've hemmed the bottom is take both my front and my back pieces and put them together, right sides together, and place my pockets. So I'm going to use my clips and measure about 10 inches down from the armhole to put my pockets. So nothing has been sewn yet, so the clips are just to hold pockets down so I can attach those before I sew my sides together on the dresses. So let's look at that. So this is going to go really quick and easy. That's one, that's two, and then 3 and 4. So my pockets are in place. So really all I have to do is sew the sides down around the pockets, from the top around the pocket to the bottom. Before I go ahead and sew down the side of the dress, I actually want to measure a few inches to leave open for my armhole, and that could be just 3 inches or 4 inches because it's not the full armhole that you would put on a regular dress because it's topless. And so you only need about half of what you normally would have for a regular dress. So about 3 or 4 inches is what I'm going with, and then I'm going to start sewing from below that spot right there. Yes. So here I do like a simple hem in the part that I left open at the top of the dress. So I'm just turning the edges and sewing it down, and that's going to be my armhole. Like, we don't have to do any extra cutting, we don't have to use any bias strips, nothing like that. You just hem it, and look, it looks very clean and neat, and because of the shape of the dress, it will make a perfect armhole. To make a nice finish edge, I stitch it, but then I go right behind it and use my serger to finish my edges. I don't know if you guys have a serger or not. If you don't, you can use a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, but I advise getting a serger. And it doesn't have to be really expensive. I found mine in all places in Lidl's. I made a video about it. Yeah, but it was only like $200, which is really cheap for anything sewing related. So if you can kind of keep your eye open for a good serger and not spend too much money, I advise you go ahead and do that. Or, if you can break the bank, do that. Look at this. Look how it looks. So nice. It gives you a nice professional polish to your face. So the next thing I'm doing is working on the ties, which is actually the final element for the dress. And so I cut these pieces about 5 inches wide, and I'll say around 100 inches long. So it's really long, but we want that so we can make our bows. And so now that I have my piece, I need to fold it in half and prepare it to go on the garment. And so the first thing I want to do is press it. And the reason I'm pressing it is because sometimes when you try to fold one piece over to make it, it may twist or not lay perfectly flat. And so it's good to press it and trim it and make sure that your pieces are symmetrical and so here's how we attach the tie. So the front portion of the dress or the back portion of the dress, I'm using the front. I put it on the mannequin, so you guys could see it. But you could really do this on the table. But what you're going to do is take the tie that you just ironed, fold it in half so that you find the middle point. And then you're also going to find the middle point of the top of the dress and then measure that out so that you know exactly where to stop sewing the ends of the tie. So we're going to sew the ends of the tie closed and turn them inside out, but we need to leave an opening for the top of the dress. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm pinning and marking exactly how much space and where to position the opening in my tie. The easiest way to get this flipped right side out, because it's so narrow, is to use a small straight object. I have a ruler, but you could have in a stick or anything that you can poke in there to push the edge through the canal out to the opening that we left, so that you're not spending all day trying to transfer your piece inside. So now we have the trim for the dress. There you go. That is the top portion of our dress, and that is the opening we're going to attach to the open side of the front. So I actually do this in two parts, or you could do it in one, but I like to have an invisible seam. So I attached it on one side of the opening, and then fold it over. You can iron it to put a little crease in and make sure it's still laying flat, and then top stitch it. And so you stitch it twice. That's it, you guys. Look how nice that looks. Now you do the same thing for the back. And there you go. That's all it takes.